Hey everybody. So I'm creating this video in response to a video I came by while doing some research on some more in-depth BI topics that have been posed recently. And I found it kind of disturbing in the sense of nowhere that he seems very confident in his answers, first off. Like confident that, people would there's definitely something that they would be asked in an interview, and maybe maybe in his world and whatever company he works for, they would be. But um, I would, as one of the other people said, I would continue looking for a new employee. I wouldn't accept the answers that are given here. And there's a couple of reasons, and not saying everything that he wrote is bad. I don't want to be like one of those people who just dog everyone on YouTube because you know he's trying to produce content and he's trying to help people out. But some people have to really understand too that when you post something on YouTube, you're posting something and and you're publicizing it. You're gonna get a lot of critique, and especially if you're wrong. That's just gonna be the way it is. Now, there's a difference between being straight out wrong, and having a difference of opinion because it could be done a different way. And there's a lot of that, right, in YouTube. So, some of the things he does, uh, everything as you see, he's not wrong. He's getting the answers that was posed, right, to the questions. So, a lot of this is more about optimization, and how people would think why you would write it that way when you could write it in such an easier way or a more optimized way. So, in any manner, he posed the following questions. Return employee. So he's dealing with two tables, an employee table and a department table. And he posed the following six questions. First off, these questions need to be rewrote. If it's an HR department writing them, then I understand. But if it's someone who's like a hiring manager, these questions are not clear at all. But anyways, return employee record with max salary or with the highest salary. So uh, the question would normally say, I would like you to return the employee with the highest salary from the employee table. Fine. That would be a standard question to ask. So anyways, I digress. Select highest salary in employee table. Select second highest salary in employee table. Select range of employees based on ID. Return employee name, highest salary, and department. And return highest salary, employee name, department for each department. Now, so the couple things. So first off, return employee record with max salary. So as one of the people pointed out down here, the solutions to the problematic 1, 3, and 6. Return which will return more than one result if needed. I would keep looking for an employee understanding. So, anyways, employee to return the employee with the highest salary. So the way he wrote it is this right here. Select star for employees where employee salary or where salary is equal to the max salary subquery. Okay, that's fine. That works. Now, if they're only expecting one answer though, that would not work. That's what Stefan Buller is saying there because for example, if I edit employees here and I just take one of these guys here, like for example, Chris, and I take his salary and I make it the max salary of whatever we got here. So we got this salary here. So I'll take Chris here and I'll go over and I'll change Chris's salary to the same salary. Okay? And I'll rerun this query. Now, notice it's very common for people to have the same salary, 80 grand a year. I mean, that's common. 100 grand a year, 60 grand a year, 40 grand a year, whatever it is. It's really common for them to have the same salary. So in this particular case, if we're saying return the record, employee record, not records, with the highest salary, then we have failed. More importantly, the HR manager has failed to alleviate the fact that we want a single record or multiple records, because we should be asking after they write this question to us, even if they ask a question like that, what if an employee have the same salary? They're going to both be the highest. So do we want both records or do we only want a single record? So that's one thing right there that could pose a problem. So a way to alleviate that is to simply say, I want to get the top salary from salary. Now, that's not necessarily accurate. That's simply based upon indexing. Because remember, it did the top and then it organized by salary, but it did it by the index. So, you know, if this was transferred over to another server and it was re-indexed and the index was different, I may get a different answer. So it would really need to be, clear if they want both records or not. They would also need to be clear to see if it's the first one that comes, whatever comes out, and they're just trying to see what the highest salary is. So this question generally, I would find to be very confusing on an interview, and if it is the interview, I would want clarification so I don't get it incorrect and give you the wrong answer, or give you the right answer from the way I understood your question without clarification. So the second one is return the highest salary the employee table. This is really simple. There's going to be no issue with that. The next one is return the second highest salary on the employee table. Again, it's the same thing, right? Because if someone has the same salary, we got the same problem because they both would show up. Which salary do we want? So on and so forth. So if we're just saying this, return the second highest salary of all employees, right? And I really don't care who the employee is. I'm just grabbing the record to grab the record. Then it's a heck of a lot easier than the way he wrote it. And I don't even remember the way he wrote it, but SQL Server 2012, Microsoft SQL Server 2012 and above, which he posted his video in 2016, which, I mean, technically, 2012 has been out for a while because it even came out a year before 2012, almost. So, has an offset functionality. MySQL's had it for a while, using the limit one, offset one. I think Steven actually, that's the way he wrote it, and it's also done in SQLite that way, and too. I didn't know that SQLite had offset. But you can see, yeah, so limit one, offset one right here. Microsoft SQL has it as well, as of 2012. It's been there, 2012, 2016, 2019. It's all there. And so really simple way is the same way I wrote this select top one. It's the same thing. The difference is the top one is produced in the offset. It's fetch next. So it would be select star for employees ordered by salary, descending offset one record because you don't want the first salary, and fetch only the next record. So you run this and boom, you have your next salary. So, and that is a heck of a lot faster than doing a bunch of different subqueries, which is what I think I saw him do. And even if you do the subqueries, another thing I don't understand because I remember him doing this and it was like really weird the way he did this one. So second highest salary. So he does the max salary where it's not in. Like I don't understand. I just don't, because you can even do something as simple as like if he's gonna do all that subquerying, he could do select max salary from employee, where salary is less than select max salary from employees. And again, I would just simply do top one. And I have the same exact result. So I don't get it. Like, why are you saying where it's not in? This is an iteration query. Uh, it takes a lot of resources to do that if you're searching through a lot of records. Yeah. Anyways, it's also a Cartesian outer join. But anyways, so a couple different ways you could do that one. I just don't understand the logic that he's posing. That's all. I'm not saying that what he's doing is wrong. As you see, he can do it that way. It's just not expeditious by any means as far as a streamlined query. Return the records of an employee based on the range. Now he did it, by using the ID. I don't know of one company that would ever do it by ID. But I mean, I think it's just to demonstrate that you can understand the between and. And then I think most of the time it would be they're commonly asked as a salary, and so I did it on the salary. It's the same thing. He posed the correct question or correct answer in my opinion. Um, and Bueller wrote he's never ran across this before, but it's all over Microsoft SQL Server. But this is how you would kind of do it in other SQL platforms, like SQLite is what Bueller is doing. So, but this one, return employee name, blah blah. Again, it's the same exact thing. And if they have multiple, again, this right here would pose an issue with uh, the issue with the multiple employees. So a lot easier would just be select top one, enter join, order descending, and you're done. Um, Again, if it has multiple employees, you have a problem. You could do the thing, but it would be going to be multiple employees, so you'd have to account for that. So again, this is just simply an inner join, showing you how to use inner joins. Makes sense. You should be able to do any inner join, left join, right join, outer join, whatever you want to do. And then return the highest salary. So this is just demonstrating you know how to use group by, which is fine. But again, he writes it weird, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, where in salary max for like I don't get it. Uh, It's as simple as D name max salary as salary, or you can just leave it whatever. It'll say no name, department, interjoint. I don't get it. And that Bueller, I think, writes almost the same exact thing. Yeah, he writes the same exact thing. So like, it's just I just don't get it. Bueller doesn't aliases, but yeah, whatever. It's the same thing. I don't understand what the heck is up with all the extra maxes and all that. It just doesn't demonstrate to me that he really has a good handle on data. It looks like you can get the answer, which is great, but it definitely looks like it's a more of a junior. This is more of a junior SQL job. Um, at least I would expect it to be. Um, but yeah, so if you're wondering about this, I'm gonna go ahead and post my answers here on his video, and uh, you can do what you want with it. Everyone has a right to their opinion. This is my opinion. I think the guy did a great job as far as producing content. Again, I don't want to knock him for that at all. I just don't understand the thought process. Maybe that's my ignorance, but nonetheless, he's producing content. He's getting people to talk about it. That's always a good thing, and he's trying to help out the community, which is even more of a better thing. So I'm trying to do the same. This is my video on it, and take it as you will. Hopefully, it helps you guys. Thanks.